Isuzu, the Japanese multinational automobile manufacturer, has earned its name in the world of automobiles through the production and sale of Isuzu commercial vehicles and diesel engines. The company handles the assembly of heavy, medium and light-duty trucks, which forms the result of the journey which we're going to cover here today. In this video, we'll witness the jaw-dropping journey of production of trucks in Japan and answer the question, how are Japanese trucks made? And what are the steps actually involved? So without further ado, let's get started. The components used by Isuzu are shipped to the truck assembly plant, where the trucks move along an assembly line. As they move through the assembly line, various components are added with the help of different groups of workers at their respective workstations. In the modern world, the most recognized form of heavy-duty truck is the tractor-trailer or the semi-truck. It was initially developed commercially in the 1910s. Some truck designers believed in 1911. Truck designer Charles Martin created a gasoline-powered tractor that pulled modified horse-drawn commercial wagons. But there was another creation of this that stood above the rest. It was the fifth-wheel cupola, which was a round plate that had a central hull. It is attached to the top of the tractor frames in order to join the support trailers. Wagons were converted into semi-trailers by raising them with the help of jacks, removing the front axles and lowering and locking a trailer bottom-mounted kingpin into a tractor's fifth wheel. This is what helped the tractor-trailer bend as they turned. Martin's revolutionary device was purchased by almost all track manufacturers. When it comes to the assembling of the frame, a pair of frame rails are chosen from the stock lengths and the C-channel. They are then laid side by side and fed through an automatic drilling machine in order to create holes for connected cross-member brackets, engine mounts, and other frame-mounted components. With the help of a computer, the machine is aware of the size location of the required holes. Then, there are small threaded studs welded inside the C-section of the frame rail. The frame rail accommodates the air lines for the brakes and the electrical wires for the lights and sensors. They're secured with the help of a rubber cushioned clamp and are fastened to the studs. For the frame assembly, the brackets for the frame cross members are bolted by making use of high-strength bolts or self-clenching fasteners. Also, the left and right frame rails are kept opposite to each other and the cross members are added. By this stage, the frame would resemble a long ladder with the rails as the sides and the cross members as the rungs. Some of the other frame-mounted components include engine mounts, suspension brackets, and air tanks are bolted into place. When it comes to installing the axles and suspensions, the front and rear axles are fitted using proper hubs. The axles are clamped to the suspensions through long U-bolts and some suspensions using long leaf springs, while the others using inflated rubber airbags. The front and rear axles and suspensions are lifted into place and are attached to the suspension brackets. The shock absorbers are placed between the axles and the frame. The entire frame assembly is transported from the station to station, either manually or with the help of overhead hoists. The frame would then be placed on a movable support and it would start moving down the assembly line. The air tanks and brake chambers have a connection with the airlines, whereas the lights and sensors are connected to the proper wires. If a tractor is being built, then the fifth wheel is kept on the frame and is bolted right into place. From this point on, the frame assembly, considering the axle, suspensions and frame mounted components, is known as the chassis painting. All those components that are not to be painted are covered with either masking tape or paper. The chassis is then transported into a paint booth where it is painted using compressed air spray guns. As per a majority of truck manufacturers, all parts are to be coated with a primer coat of paint, meaning that priming is not needed after the painting and inspection of the chassis. For the drying of the paint, the chassis is moved into a drying oven where the paint is dried using a flow of hot air. Later, the masking tape and paper are taken off, then comes the installation of the engine and the transmission. They're brought into the plant alongside the assembly line, and the clutch is installed along with the bolting of the transmission. Other engine components like the rear of the engine, the fan, alienator, and so on are installed and connected by hoses and electrical wiring. The completed engine / and transmission package and then is lifted using lifting eyes, which are a component of the engine. The fuel tanks are placed in the frame brackets and are connected to the fuel lines. The batteries are stored in the battery box, but they are not connected. This measure is taken in order to prevent accidental sparking. The aluminium wheel are either left as it is or they are polished, whereas steel's wheels are painted right before the tires are mounted. Both the tires' wheels are mounted on the axle hubs and the lug nuts are tightened. This is the point where the truck is removed from its movable supports and sits on its own tires. The cabin sleeper doors are set up and secured to the hinges. The hood is a molded plastic piece and is shipped without the attachment of any hardware. It is checked out for rough surfaces and is sanded. The finished hood is stored along the assembly line. The outer components of the cab and sleeper, such as the grab, handles, mirrors, visors, etc., are mounted before the commencement of any work on the interiors. The instrument panel is set up in the dashboard and the steering wheel is also installed. This is when the batteries are connected, and then the completed truck is driven off the assembly line by aligning the front and rear axles, making sure that they are parallel to each other and are also perpendicular to the center line of the frame. The truck is then placed on the laser alignment machine where the axle positions are adjusted as required. Here, the angle of the wheels are also adjusted, ensuring that the truck will properly handle and will have a satisfactory tire life. Testing the truck involves driving it into a dynamometer and is secured with chains. The truck's rear wheels rest on rollers and set into the ground and are connected to the dynamometer. As the truck engine begins to spin the rear wheels on the rollers, the dynamometer measures the engine power to make sure it operates correctly. The Isuzu trucks are built with attention to the finest details, and the steps involved are definitely complex. With each step ensuring the efficiency and the safety of the truck, the entire journey is indeed a sight to behold. The Japanese have always surprised the world with their technology and the smart work they have managed to execute. The Isuzu is just a prime example of their marvelous achievements. So what do you think of the process of the Isuzu truck? Let us know what your opinion is in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, don't forget to like and share and subscribe. See you soon again.